Time keeps on leaving and we keep on moving. When do we pass on our wisdom to the youth? My veteran story, lost arts discussions, fireside chats with a bourbon or two. It's time to hear the stories by military veterans. Get yourself ready. It's the Lost Arts Podcast. The Lost Arts with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast that gives a voice to our veterans. On today's episode, we have part 2. And if you joined us for part 1, trust me, you want to hear the rest of the legend story. Paul Durso, Marine veteran. But before we get into that, are you enjoying the podcast? Well, consider becoming a TLA patron. That's the Lost Arts patron. It's through donations that we're able to continue recording the podcast and getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. Just go to the Lost Art website and click on the Become a Patron link at the top. If becoming a TLA patron doesn't work for you and you would rather give a one-time donation, just go to the Lost Art website, scroll down until you see the donation link, and you can do a one-time donation. Any donation is appreciated. If you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, then shoot me an email at thelostartwithandrewcox@gmail.com. And as always, we do have merchandise for sale. We got cups, we got hats, we got shirts, we got just about anything you can think of. But help us in spreading the message about this podcast and advertising for us as you're walking around. It'd be much appreciated. Now, with that, this is part 2 with Paul Durso, the Marine legend. So, Paul, welcome back to the program. I'm excited to hear the rest of the story. So, you were the last time we were talking, you were at MCRD and you were getting ready to get out of the Marine Corps at this point. Is that where we left off?
Yes, that would be about the right timeline. Getting out is not getting away. It's not even really getting out. It's a transition and a separation that I would like my record and my followers and those who are contemplating transition. It's a hard decision. I commend those who hang in and stay in 10, 20, 25, and that's familiar to Andrew, and
Yeah,
30, they go on. And so this was I analyzed this very carefully. I had lots of time to think about it. We did not fly to Okinawa. We did not fly back to Okinawa. Everything was on a tugboat, a troop ship. Plenty of time to audit your thinking and contemplate your mission statement in life. What is it you want to do? What is it you want to be? See, now my depth as an elder statesman can help and guide those who are contemplating these decisions, because I have to be accurate and say, sadly, we only have but one life. And sadly, we only have 100 years. Sadly, if we can make that. I'm working on it.
You're doing pretty good.
Hey, I'm in training. I'm still in boot camp. I never got out. Another story for another time. But oh yes, people say, what do you do? How do you do? What is your secret? I'll stop at the secret. There are no secrets. There is no silver bullet. Discipline, the spark of fire, and a lifestyle which for many didn't get off to a good turn. For many, they become sadly inoperative. They use an excuse, and it's called getting old. Don't go there. Don't do that with me. You're supposed to say getting better, improving. Why is it we spend so much money on a wine that's 50 years old? Jesus Christ, can't even drink it maybe. But yet, go to the auctions. Old cars. Oh my God. What we all paid for $1,000, $2,000 paid for is going now. Muscle cars. You don't want to get, you'll hang up, you'll faint. 50, 80, 100. I follow the market. Some people follow interest rates. Some people follow housing rates. Some people follow the deposits of treasury notes and exciting stocks. Follow everything. Follow, learn, continue, allow, and make yourself. Be angry with yourself. I tell many women, be selfish, be self-centered. Don't be irresponsible. Don't ignore. But there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself first. After that, yourself second. I'm not done yet. Yourself third. Because if you don't, sadly, if you have faith and confidence, you know, I'm not anti anything. I'm pro a lot of things, but our Lord Jesus Christ will not deposit money into your Bank of America account. He will give you faith. He will give you direction, inspiration, and a charge of change. Yes, follow that. I don't mess around with a man's faith or a woman's. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to lose. That's as bad as trying to mess around with a woman who has children. Watch out. You're going to lose. So with that said, yes, I had a hard decision, but it was clearly back in my story of Okinawa that I owed my community, myself, my destiny to go and accomplish and acquire information in the form of academic training, as we described, got to go to college.
Right.
No, not everybody has to go to. I don't want to get emails and challenges. I know the richest man in the world did not finish college. The second richest man in the world did not. The man who founded Apple didn't have time. Didn't have. Geniuses probably don't need. But people that are not genius and stupid people like I got to go to college. I mean, if I want to be what I want to be, or become, we are a credentialed, academic, oriented society. Through the military, through civilian life, you don't have this, you can't get the ticket to get into that. So I learned that because of the military. When that officer back on Okinawa, when did you get your commission? Oh, God. Remember that story?
Yeah.
Yes. The destiny was made, but it was done, even that was done with a flair. We had fun. Marines are creative entertainers. I have here a document that humorously, to all who shall see these presents and greetings, know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of Paul James Durso, military ID number, and Michael Benson, I do appoint them civilians. What did I do? I was in 10 minutes. Your host was in for a quarter of a century. His party aptly should be and was a hell of a lot bigger than mine, which was just a fun thing that we did to escort or transition our people from the military. I mean, we even had a uniform, I mean, look, it's a fun thing. It's just a uniform.
Nice.
Yeah. We're having fun with hash marks going down to your knees and phony belongings. And people say, and even in the barracks, we're having fun. A little certificate, there I am getting out with my very good friend and legend that hopefully will become a podcast applicant, Joe Benishan, out of Lake Placid, New York today, who Bernie Farr described one of the best technicians on an alto tenor saxophone. Oh my God, and he was an athlete, a wrestler, a student of mine. He would get on top of me and grapple. We would go for the chokes. What a guy. Great guy. He's alive today. And finally, my departure was very proper and formal.
Nice.
You got your DD-214, which of course is not signed till 2 years later, because I am from the generation of 4 years plus 2. So I was disconnected in 4 years, but not honorably discharged 2 years later. Things were changing when I got out. I went in at a comfortable time, and I was fortunate through the grace of the power war gods. But Vietnam was hot and getting hotter. And it's May 65 when the brigade came in, and the general authorized us to stay back. Remember the trio? And it allowed me to finish our term. We stayed back and did community work. The general said, you can do a hell of a lot more staying back. What you going to do in Vietnam? Fix the problem, kill everybody? No. Which we as bands people better remember. We have a tape that I'm going to send to our hosts of our band POWs and people that were killed in World War II. I got that tape. And
wow.
And people need to be reminded, as one wise band officer once said to me, Paul, we are trained to do everything that they do. They cannot do what we do and did, which was the symbol of what we are as bandsmen. And with that said, here is my inspiration. Let this be, find your inspiration, audience. Find the spark that feeds your will, that gives you inspiration to do whatever that is you need to do. Military, university, skill base, build something, go something, do something. I don't know what it is. Find something. I have already inducted people into Hall of Fames, Athletic Hall of Fames, Southern California Hall of Fames, United States National Handball Hall of Fames. I'm now on my tube, your tube, his tube. There's no more privacy here in the world. And I say to an audience, I don't give speeches. I don't dictate. I don't like to tell people what to do and how to live.
Yeah.
Although I do, but I shouldn't, but I do, but I don't, but I do. But I advise as a teacher who became a CCC. It's cryptic for a certified career counselor. So I advise people. I don't help you find a job. I advise you on how to build yourself, your credentials, your content of your character, so that you can find that niche that you want. And I've said this to my audiences that are looking for that secret in life, not just longevity of life, but I will say drop the L in the word life and replace it with a W. Got it? I don't want to go too fast for you. Replace it. It helps. It helps. Find that. Now, this is Paul Durso. Now, I understand, and Josephine, I understand. This is not easy. I'm not going to say that's what you got to do to be. No. I'm saying if you can, that life and wife, it's interesting how they rhyme.
Very true.
Are good. Some can do this. And what's the percentage of those who cannot? I don't like to embarrass. 10%. Hey. Don't guess. As a researcher and a graduate student, I've studied sociology, marriage and the family, part of my counseling and my training, post-Marine Corps. It hovers 48, 49, 50, 51% cannot.
No kidding.
It's sad. I wish I was wrong. You notice how I said it. 48, 49, 50, it hovers. You got to watch, like the stock market. Then I have the Paul Durso scenario and my own hypothesis on this, that of those who claim to be doing it, sometimes are lying. And those who have failed at doing it, 15 to 20% of those try it again. So it's not a dictatorial of condemn. It's something to just stimulate, whether it's career, a partner, Some of these things are not easy to do. So I'm already explaining to you my post-Marine Corps Paul Durso, and that the music, which was inspired, which I'm trying to show, this is my father. It is not an E flat alto French horn. It is that, but it's more than that to me. This is the actual instrument that my father put in my hands as a little boy, 10 years old.
Wow.
The goddamn awesome. Went all the way down to my knees. I was the smallest kid in the band blowing the biggest damn horn. And it was this ignition, this spark. You stick with this, we'll get your trumpet. And that led. So I didn't want to displace or downplay my music in the Marine Corps. After all, I went in as a Marine, a core valued discipline, fighting, warrior, martial arts, grunt. But thank you for my abilities. Thank you for my capabilities that I was able to expand on that. And I got into the field of music entertainment, of which I went to a faraway land and, as you heard in chapter 1, took over an island, not with a machine gun, not with a weapon, but with our ability. Find your niche.
I love it.
What sparks you. Find an interest. If you can't find it, find somebody to help you find it. I don't know. Call Andrew Cox. Call Paul Durso. Use the code words. Marine. Call. We will help you. Not dictate. But maybe we can find that little spark that'll help you in your next chapter of life. So mine went on as much as it did before the Marine Corps, believe it or not. Very military. I was up. I was in class. I never had a class after 10:30, 11. Oh, you crazy? I was in class 8 o'clock in the morning. I got out of the Marine Corps on September the 5th, 1966. 10 days later, I'm in a 4-unit physical geology course. Jesus Christ, this was full-time work. I mean, I'm challenged here. I am not, and my records proved it, the most intelligent student. Now, I balanced that. That's being politically polite. My grades were terrible. Now, intelligence versus smart. Be careful. Intelligent, I never was. Judgment and smart, yeah, I had that. That was a gift. I made sound decisions in my life and continued after. That is judgment. There are many intelligent people that do not have good judgment. Sadly.
Very true.
That includes murderers, robbers. Jesus Christ, they're highly intelligent. You think dumb people can break into a bank? What are you, crazy? I mean, can't do that. I mean, it takes, but their judgment. Sometimes, sadly, people who commit crime are highly intelligent murderers. Sadly, their judgment went astray and their decisions are wrong. So we need to address that carefully. Now, mine was proven while I was an undergraduate. Thankfully, my counselors, I had not good, better than good. I went in to sign up for college. I was taking time off out of MCRD to register, and I didn't have an appointment. Damn, I drove all the way from San Diego up to Los Angeles, Cerritos, and Norwalk. And guy comes out, what are you doing here? Counselor. Where you work? Where you from? In the Marine Corps. What? Who? Shut the doors. I'll take him. Whoa.
Wow.
The thing. An Army veteran sensed it, picked me up, got me in. I played taps at his funeral. Got close with my teachers, and they advised me, they counseled me, because, man, I was challenged. My grades were, whoa, we don't want to go on the bell-shaped curve, which I found out later. Hey, you want to see where you are on the bell-shaped curve? Christ, I wasn't even in the beginning. I was so bad. But I went to community college and the discipline kicked in. The warrior fight kicked in. Got help, got tutors, got, I was in graduate school and I'm getting ready to do a thesis. And I knew my strengths, I knew my weaknesses. So I walk in to the chair of my committee and can you take a look at my draft? What are you doing here? You're not due for 4 months, 6 months. Well, let me see what no respect, graduate student. I thought I was in boot camp again. So here we are. Oh my God. And he started helping me. And I'd come back a couple of weeks. You again. Let me see that. And then I'd come back 3, 4 times regarding the completion properly of my thesis. When it came time for my board of review and my committee, and the name Durso came up, he's clean. Get him. He's done. So I'll sign it right now. This is what you got to do when you're weak. Get stronger. This is what you got to do when you need help. Get help. Damn it. I learned that early. Now, my continuation of the martial arts just continued. I have a good friend that we trained together on Okinawa, Joe Louis, and most of the kids don't know. They think they get a little confused. There's an Louis, the brown bomber. And then there's my guy, Joe Louis. Pretty good, pretty good. He was 185, 190, he was fast as me. We were kids together. We trained together. We were on Okinawa together. We studied. I am a descendant of Izo Shimabuku, and so is he. So when we got out, he went to Lejeune, and I went to MCRD. We kept in touch. Finally, the writing, telephone, I'm coming. Yo, what you going to do here? Coming for the movies. Whoa. Ooh. And the movies he did. My guy, Joe Louis, made a grand total of 1 movie. But my point is, we were tight. We were together. We came back, and it was Joe Louis and I who were together. That's Joe Louis. That's myself. We put on an exhibition at the Cerritos College. All the boys came to help me. And who are the boys? None other than Chuck Norris, Joe Louis, Mike Stone. Here we are having fun together as kids from left to right. Count off. Louis, Norris, Stone. Well, we supported each other. We were kids together. And when it came time, Joe said, I got to go up and talk to the Chinese guy, the guy that's on the TV, plays Green Hornet. His name is Bruce Lee.
Yep.
So I said, look, tell you what, you go and check on him and say hello for me. I got to go. I got homework to do. I'm in college. What do you think? I'm on vacation here, leave? I'm getting ready for graduate school. I'm being, I'm dumb to begin with. The martial arts, you and I can do. Go up there and say hello and send him my respect. Now, we weren't that close with him because Mr. Lee chose not to engage himself in actual tournament play. Not a negative. He was great athlete, not good, better than good. And he was great with the choreography in the movies, but athletically trained. He did some nice stuff. So Joe went up and blah, blah, blah. Years later, my wife, Josephine, says, you mean to tell me that you were invited to go to, yep. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you could, yep. Any other questions you got? Till this day, am I sorry that I didn't go up to see? You're damn right. Because I know we would have hit it off. I know all the guys, not all, a lot of them that he was taking into the movie as part of the routine. Bob Wall, Enter the Dragon, the guy with the beard and the scar, who he back kicked, sent him right down over the cliff. He was an understudy of myself. I mean, we were just all together. I mean, this is who we were. This is what we are. This is what we did. I'm the Los Angeles Open heavyweight champion. And it was a tournament that Joe and I went in. And I said to Joe, what you going to do? Me and you were going to go. What are we going to do? I'll fix the seed. I'll be first seeded and you be on the bottom. Okay. Okay. So, and that's what happened. And so what happened is it gets to the quarterfinals, and Joe was dealing with a guy by the name of, I don't know if you can remember, there was a guy, remember Elton John when he sang, Van Anders at Vum, 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 Rum. Benny the Jet became world champion. Benny the Jet was there that day, hanging on to my goddamn gi, little kid. I get lost. And I ran into him years later at an airport, tapped me on the shoulder. Respect, nice kid, clean, small. He's like a dynamite. His older brother was Arnold. His older brother caught Joe in the semifinals. Caught him in the semifinals, and that knocked Joe out, which means I had to fight Arnold for the title, heavyweight title. I'm a lightweight fighting a heavy. So here I am with Arnold, and that's, if you notice who's the referee, checking my shit out already, that's Chuck Norris. And I'm knocking Arnold into the next arena. Got a little lucky, caught him going back. So I am the, here we are at the Trophy Awards. That's with Arnold and first place trophy of Los Angeles. But you see, I did not continue to compete as much like Joe Louis. It was a matter of I'm in college. It's a problem getting on a plane. I got to go around and move around, and I just didn't do it. So, but I continued my training through life. I got in the construction business, having fun. They would use tools. I would use my hands. So,
I love it.
Yeah, fun. So that said, I continued. I got into a master's degree, and I become a graduate, which is a master's in public administration. I am credentialed in affairs of government, and I took my degree and talents into municipal government. And I was in the municipal management, municipal manpower. I ran cities. I helped run cities. I was never the city manager, assistant. About 8 years, almost 10.
And where was that at?
A number of cities. I started in Rosemead. I went to Norwalk, El Monte, and Ontario.
Wow.
I was the assistant in Bellflower, California. All Southern California, contract cities, good question, because many cities are very complicated. But in Southern California, they retain one manager to run everything. Then they contract for police, fire, building, public works, community, recreation. Some have it, some don't. So that's why my experience is broadened, because I worked at 4 or 5 cities. But you know, like the Marine Corps, you hit crossroads in life, and I am working in government at the public sector level. And I knew there was another side called the for-profit. There's the non-profit and then the for-profit. If you are government, you are non-for-profit. Whether you are in government, security, administrative, management, military, general, you're working, you get your pay, and you retire, and you're handled properly. Military is great. We should get a second chance. Well, I was destined to, I think I was gifted and destined and talented to make a lot of money. So I decided to switch, and I got out of the public sector and I went private. I went private entrepreneurship. I was retail. I was manufactured. I was in what they call the business of fun, called gold and diamond. Look at all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was in retail. I was in wholesale, and there's the factory in the back. It's hard in jewelry to have trusted employees. So you see who the trusted employee is, your
I
wife.
see your wife there.
I'm like, she was a big, oh, what a story she is. You're right. What a get running classes, teaching 6, 7, helping a husband and oh, I don't know how we didn't snap and go nuts. So I did that for many years. And then I transitioned to, I got a second master's degree in career counseling. And I went on that way to be more independent. I proceeded to contemplate certain founding. I would work with venture capital people in the founding of companies to help them, advise them, and find them the talent. Remember, I'm a manpower specialist. And
Right.
with that, my hope and dream was to eventually acquire stock, be part of a for public company that goes and explodes. I was not as successful as I had hoped. Am I coming into a different chapter of my life and I look back? Fortunately, there's no regrets. I've done all that I could do. I'm not done yet. I'm still in training. Ask me the last time that I played ball.
Had to have been yesterday.
This morning.
Oh, this morning.
That's correct. I got no time to waste. My training is more important than this interview because no, not disrespect to you or the business, but it can hold and wait. My training cannot. Now that's a discipline. Now, when you have a wife and children, all your priorities will get twisted and challenged. And you have a Marine Corps that you went, oh, I'm going to tell you how fast your priorities are going to work. Right. So that alters and changes as we mature. So I continue to do things, and my music has calmed down a little bit. It's mostly private. I play for myself. My horn, as a secret, is never put away. First mistake. Put the sticks away, put the horn away, put the mace away. You're done. You think you're going to go to the closet? No. My horn is in front of my fireplace. While my wife is cooking, I'll pick it up. Give me that scale, like the band officer said. Give me a chromatic. And I play. I don't go to bands and read anymore. I can't goddamn see. I got one here. I got one here. I'm lucky I can play ball and still see the ball. So the music is still there, but not like it was. The martial arts still continues, but in a different format. I've become an elder and a motivational speaker to help, inspire, teach. Yes, I can. My wife is the real full professor of English and comparative literature. I am definitely a teacher, but by credential, not by profession. I chose not to do that. Teachers don't make money. So that's why I decided let my wife be the teacher. Whoa. And I'll make the millions. Don't work like that. Be careful what you sometimes aim for, but aim high. So with that said, it's been a wonderful experience. And I think I'll close out by just sharing. I have my my resume that I have a lot of fun with. It's my resume. And of course,
this is awesome. I love this.
Well, you got a sneak preview. You know too much. This is the resume that when I attend a military function or I'm asked to maybe speak at veterans, I'm active with that. I like to go in the uniform that is complimentary and helps other veterans that can identify. This is my sort of resume with my mom, my sister, and the figure of a handball player. The buttons that my mother wore, my community, because I was in city management, my Red Cross and my university degree, my patch from my sensei of my teacher on Okinawa, who just recently passed away. I'm still in mourning. My 2nd Marine Division activity, my FMF PAC continuation, my Hall of Fame. I'm in many martial arts Hall of Fames. Don't have time to tell you all that stuff. Oh, of course, MCRD at the top of the food chain there. And my Marine Corps Musicians Association, which in closing, I like to emphasize and accent in just a second. My United States Marine Corps never retired because you never retire. You might. You don't retire. You transition, you pass on. Of course, I am a Vietnam veteran. I am 2nd, 3rd Marine Division, Drum and Bugle Corps. I'm a 100-miler, Western States 100-miler, and my marshal, how about that? And on that business of Vietnam, I I was asked one time, you were in the band. Did you see any dirt in action in Vietnam? While I was at MCRD, it's all part of the closing, I went into the band officer, Andy, always rehearsing. Yeah, Durso, come on in. Oh, I always had his respect. Geez, what I did for him on Okinawa. And I went in and I said, Gunner, I got some leave on the books. I'd like to take my leave, and instead of going home, what normal people do, girlfriend, wife, home, I had time for that later. I want to go to Okinawa. I want to go on Liberty, visit for about a month. Month? Yeah, go ahead, Doris. I'll make your plans. He was so good. Anybody else, he would have said, are you crazy? Get out of here. No. Andy was so good. And I had to contact Headquarters Marine Corps. What do you think? You're going to go, this ain't Okinawa where you go down to the TV studio. So I got permission from Headquarters Marine Corps to leave the intercontinental limits of the United States of America to go to Okinawa. For what? I wanted to go to Okinawa. I mean, what do you mean, for what? I was a star there. My teacher's there. So I went back to study, and I went back. It was wonderful. I walked in, the first thing, Durso no die. Die? What do you mean die? I'm here. Everybody on Okinawa, there was a rumor that the trio got shot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I contacted my friend John and where was he at that time? He was in Jersey still. And I said, hey, we got killed. Goddamn John, without missing a beat. How did we die? I don't know. We got shot. You got shot. I got shot. We got shot. It was a rumor. Never published because they couldn't, find it. Anyway, that was cleared up. And it was cleared up over the air. I was on radio and TV again. And the trio is alive. They're well. They're here. And I studied with my teacher. I lived with him. I was raised to 3rd Dan. I mean, to be a black belt at that time in America was top of the food chain. And I'm a senior Dan. So, and I came back. On the way back, I had to go through Vietnam. I stopped at the division. I saw the boys. Right away, they all congratulated me because I was shipping over. Whoa. I'm not shipping over. No. What are you doing here? You're shipped over. They couldn't get it through their head that I'm here on vacation. It was hilarious. But I saw so many guys I knew, and it was a lot of fun. On the way out, everything at Da Nang was grounded. Everybody was grounded. There was an attack. There were snipers shooting at the planes, at the rotors, at everything. Oh, God, I ain't never getting out of here. I'm in Vietnam now. Oh, man. So lo and behold, there was a full bird colonel who was the pilot of a C-130, and he had to get out. They had equipment. So he had rank, he had permission. So help me, they were shooting at us on the way out.
Wow.
Till this day, man, you don't know how life could have been, would have been, if that could have pierced a tank, an explosion. It's like me. I'm going to Cuba. I'll be on the first wave, but they fixed it. But we got in the air and I got out. So, am I a victim? Did I see, hey, I was shot at. I'm in the band. We got shot at. So it was a nice thing. But I leave you with the thought of sharing the story that not everything has to be with sadness, that everybody has to earn a Congressional Medal of Honor. Can't do that. That not everybody has to earn a Purple Heart to gain respect, that there are things that you can do in your life that are productive if you maintain that discipline, if you maintain that integrity, 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 if you main and follow through and sometimes get angry, you can do it. I leave you with that. And I thank you for this opportunity to exchange with you. And I just leave you with the best and the hope that you can share this wonderful message and to share it with others.
Oh, we're definitely going to share it for sure. Hey, I got a couple questions for you. So if you look back on all of your experiences through life, and you were going to give advice to a young individual coming in, going into the military, getting ready to do their career, what type of advice would you give those guys?
Stop in the name of preparation. If you are not prepared, if you do not overhaul your thoughts, and if you do not seek advice, you could be destined for some problems. Yes, I think that's a wonderful question because it is not practiced, it is not adhered to. Most of us stroll through life blind, and sometimes they hit jackpots. Some of the richest people in the world are not necessarily the smartest or the best, but the luckiest. So I would advise to seriously seek today the offerings. Let's stick to our main interest of military, the introductory, the videos that are accessible. When you go to MCRD, you can go into their archive room and see the whole boot camp before you get into boot camp. This may not be for you. Don't do what maybe you shouldn't do. And stop being a follower. Be yourself, you become a leader. I advise that in many of my classes where I am instructed to motivate. Now, for the veteran, it's a different kind of a spin because he's getting a different shot. He's building on what he's already built. And boy, does he got a lot to build on. Yes. So you want to be able to transition that, and they don't know how. That's why my certification and my specialty because that transition between active military and actual live active civilian, that bridge is made of paper and wood. The Marine Corps tries. They have counseling, they have computers. And the civilian world, they're in the blind. Huh? Oh, a veteran. I mean, when I got out of college, you're what? A veteran? Woo! They wanted me to speak in college because of the violence and the corruption and the protesting to the Vietnam War.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have that today. Today, what do? They're thanking me for my service. You know, in the beginning, some of us were talking to each other. How are you handling this? I don't know. I don't pay attention. And how are you handling? Shit, where were they 30 years ago? No. And I'm handling them with, I got to come up with some politeness. There has been a reverse. This all has to do with the decision of what to do with your life, military. It's a long answer. It's a short question. It's not a direct no, yes. It's important to know this and that your attitude in understanding transition and that populations change, revisit. Look at this guy called the H that stands for Hitler, that stands for hell. How did he get that population? I don't mean a guy or two or three, that was one of the best speakers, sadly, in the wrong way, of the 20th century, Zig Heil. And here we are, we're still screwed up with shit. So I would tell a young man, a young lady to definitely seek advice and go into themselves and don't come out until you have solidness. Testing, we have tests today. The recruiting process is much more improved than it was. I've helped many. I hired police and fire while I was in government with city. I hired police and fire. I didn't hire them. I was the first step to their next step. And of course, the testing has become so sophisticated that they can pick up stuff that they would not recommend because it's an investment. How much does the Marine Corps spend today to train a recruit? I lost track.
It's a lot. I know
A
that.
lot. Leave it there.
But so along the kind of the same lines, you've worked with a lot of veterans as they're getting out and moving on into careers and stuff. What advice would you give service members that are currently active and they're getting ready to do that transition? What types of things would you say to them?
Not bad. Prepare for your transition before you transition. A lot of ways. Speak on the inside. Speak to military officers. Speak on the outside. You need that outside ear. Will you be confused? Damn right you'll be confused. But that's okay. You're now much more mature than you were coming in. Now, there's a different kind of counseling between the entry level exit military, one hitch, and the retired military. Different strategy, different answers. They need to understand full well who they are, where they are, what is their mission statement, and do they have an actual plan? If they don't, that's part of the counseling. Not to dictate, got to be careful. You lose a lot of people. Don't tell me what to, whoa, okay, got it. The Marine Corps told me enough. Ain't telling me no more. Whoa, 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 I got it. So you have to be sensitive, polite, respectful. But like I say, there are two avenues. One, the initial one getting out because he's still young and he will entertain. Like when I got out and I got done with college, I checked out with my people and veterans. Yo, you want to see where you are on the bell-shaped curve again? You went from, as I said before, nothing. Whoa, you're way over graduate school. And he said, hey, there's money here. I said, excuse me? I thought it was over. No. So after college, I worked for 2 years in finance leasing, equipment, automobile, but I was still single. That's a big, important thing. And the spark and the energy and the encouragement from good counseling, I went back to graduate school, then got my master's degree. And I went back full time. Don't fool around with education. Work, education, family. Guys mess up. Girls mess up. Doesn't matter. So my advice would be very careful to continue counseling, but audit and inventory your brains. They don't know how to do that. It's tough. Need a little help.
I like that. I want to transition just a little bit and ask you something a little off topic, but you had talked about it earlier, and you talked about life and wife, and you gave us some percentages, right? So give our listeners some advice, because you've been married for a little while now. Give us some advice on relationship and what you see as being beneficial in that relationship, and being having a good relationship throughout.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Now I'm going to be careful with that answer, because followers who are sophisticated with degrees in education, he's not certified, and I'm not. I'm educated. I'm old, practiced, and what has worked for me in life, which changed the L to W and wife, works for me. And I'm successful at that. Now, I can share in that success, yes, but I'm very careful, cautious, and delicate in how I profess that, because I am not a marriage and counsel certified counselor. Well, but you're a counselor. CCC, certified career. My specialty and my niche is to make you money. No, my certification is to help you in your career, which advances you to make money. Now, the marriage thing, that's a little personal. Yes, I have had marriage in the counsel courses. Yes, I have been trained and I have been sophisticated. And yes, I try to keep my reading up, because counseling is like law. Oh, you're a lawyer. That tells me nothing, because I need to know you're a member of the bar. Got it. Now, what are you? Divorce, litigation, civil, immigration. It's like a doctor. What? That tells me nothing. Are you orthopedic? Are you a spine specialist? Are you cardiologist? Are you into blah, 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 blah. The same thing with counseling. So I'm a little careful, and I'll be humble at my advice. For Paul Durso, whoa, yes, I can defend that. Jesus, God, I got experienced, I got lucky. The statistics, again, to those researchers, the longer that you can hold off, you will tend to succeed better. It doesn't mean that all kids who marry fail. Oh, I'll get letters, I'll get emails, I'll show you, and I guess you will show me. But sociologists will engage you and say that the younger you are, the vulnerability of adjustment, the vulnerability of transition becomes a high risk factor. When you're kids and you can grow together in a marriage, whoa, that's pretty good. But normally when you are youthful, because kids come in different forms, I know 40-year-old kids, but when you're young and you're married and you grow and you transition and you get educated, oh, whoa, you see my fingers? Whoa, whoa, whoa. All of a sudden, 10, 12, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? So I think the best advice is to grow together, live together, learn together, play together, discuss together, argue together, and have a negotiating process and understanding. Now that takes sophistication. Sometimes you need help with that. It's called marriage counseling. So your question was pinpointed, immediate, and my answer, as you can hear, because it's a very touchy, delicate subject. So I hope that that answer hits certain people certain ways, and that mine is in a certain area. Now, for me, again, back to me, oh, God, you grow together, you almost become one. God, is that good? Is that healthy? For some, yeah. For some, no. I got a whole theory on man itself by our DNA. Monogamy is not in our genetic code. By society, somebody set up a bunch of rules. You're a cheater. I ain't going to comment on that on the grounds that I can't comment on it. But I understand science, and I'm a man of science. I'm a man of faith too, but that faith is based on empirical studies and science. So I guess if you were to call me a religious, strictly fundamentalist, and yet the impressions left on my religion, I can still remember who was my first DI after my mother. Who was my second DI? Those nuns. The discipline that I got from them, I can still chant, like from the DI, Cuba, Cuba, here we come. The nuns, I can still do my objective prepositions in English in alphabetical order. About, above, across, between, beyond, by, down, doing, except, for, from, in, into, near, under, up, and with. Are you getting the message here? Get that impression early, stick with it, and you can be successful. I'm so sorry for those, and there are, what's the stats? Not good. We have been to the moon and back. Hallelujah. We just got there the other day privately. We got to the moon and back 50 years ago, and we cannot solve the riddle of successful marriage. I have to end it that way. It's a sad note. We have a lot of work to do. We have the tools to do it, but we can't. I mean, that's not a good statistic. 48, I don't give a shit what 47, terrible. But like I said, there is hope. Those who divorce, 10, 15% of them will try it again. But what's sadder is that even the 50%, those are married, that's not healthy. And children pick, see, it's a whole delivery. It's a whole thing coming at me. So I apologize for a lengthy answer, but it deserves depth. Don't think it, yeah, no, do this, do that, read this book. Listen to the podcast again, and maybe something fits you and something fits your friend or your brother, and you can help them in that way.
Yeah, this is a good answer. I like that. All right, I got one more question for you, and it talks about veterans specifically. And I've talked about it in the past on podcasts, but keeping a connection, right, with your veteran friends. And you obviously do that very well. And we talk about different organizations that you can get in, the VFW, there's the American Legion. And then for you and me, there's the Marine Corps Musicians Association, which I know you're very, very big into as well. But what is, in your mind, the importance of kind of becoming part of those organizations, and what do you see there?
I can't wait to get to that damn answer. Jesus Christ, you gave 4 years of your life to your country, to your culture. You go 4 years in college, you make friends, fraternities, college buddies, fraternity sisters. You go 4 years in the military, and I tell this every time I go to a base to show the documentary. Look at the guy next to you and on the right. Now, it's a little easier now. Internet, emails, communications. Don't lose contact. It is a part and a chapter of your life. How can you just let it go? And they do. Now they got reasons. I ain't going to get into those reasons. The damn answer will go on forever. Some are pissed off. Some are hurt. Some are damaged. You need to get them on the podcast. I'm opening them up. But Jesus, and you're right. The veterans of this and that. I enjoy so much going to now this is personal, between this guest and this host, that you and I, look how we are connected. We are North Pole, South Pole. You're in the North Pole. I'm on the South Pole. You're just finished the Marine Corps. Jesus Christ, my life has never been out of the Marine Corps. How can you avoid it? So I got out of the Marine Corps, and I'm hanging out with Bernie Farr, my former bandmaster. He happened to live down the block from my house. I'm still helping him, doggone, open up the jazz festival in Orange County on the base, but one of his guys didn't show up. And I said, Bernie, where you going? I'm going to a reunion. Reunion? Where? What? Oh, we get together. We just started something, the band. Oh, geez, I feel left out. I want to go too. And I was just joking with him. Yeah, come on. So I went with him, and he was sick. He was in a wheelchair. I went and I had so much fun. And I connected, not with guys I served. That's another illusion. Look at Andrew Cox and Paul Durso, North Pole, South Pole. But we have a connection, like Lieutenant Colonel Clyde Proswell said, a legend, bandmaster, Lieutenant Colonel. He was one of our guest speakers. Some things never change. That 3rd Marine Expedition there on your back is the 3rd Marine Division. I don't care what they call it. That's my house. I've been there. The belt that you wear today, the stick, the mace, the music is still ching. Oh my God. I don't understand, and this is a little bit of a criticism, and I'll get heat on it. I don't understand how my fellow Marines are not joining organizations of their own, whether it's band, drill instructors have their own, recruiters have their own, guys on ships, 1st Marine Division, I go to them sometimes. You connect with something that was a part of your life. Are you just disconnecting that and forgetting that? It's a long, drawn-out answer. But God's sakes, and some guys, they go to a reunion. Oh, do I got to go again next? And you don't have to even go the first time. We're not selling anything here. And then when they come and they connect with somebody that they served with, we are all part of that enjoyment. It's a nugget of gold, and it's a lot of fun. And then I go and I see the people that I never served with. They've been to my house. Lou Curtis, Don Versailles became my military Marine Corps heroes. Outside of my own brother, Bill Miller, except I had no damn heroes. These guys became the hero through the organization that you join, no matter what it is. So I emphasize that. I don't know. I think I try to do the research and the study of it and come up with an intelligent answer. I believe there's a genetic code here, not physical, but emotional and mental. It's called the sentimental gene. Not everybody has it.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm a sentimental fool. Look at these pictures I'm showing you. You're going to talk to people who have the pictures, but maybe they're just too lazy to show you, But I show it for credibility, not to brag. I show it to show people because the picture will speak 1,000 words. It's not about breaking bricks. It's about discipline. And I take that in other areas that when you get together at a reunion, how many people have high school reunions and go? How many people have high school reunions and don't go? Can't go. They're in war. Hey, there's legitimate excuses. But I love the camaraderie. And yes, you're right. I got heavily involved. The boys recruited me because of a lot of reasons, my experience, my civilian experiences that come in. I help. It's a lot of fun, but yet not everybody. I mean, with all our internet connections, they're not searching, they're not looking, and then when they come, oh, I thought I'd see somebody here I served. No, it don't work like that. I never served with Andrew Cox. I can't wait to see the guy at the next reunion if he can make it. Amen.
That's right. Yeah, that's a fantastic answer. I I think that's an incredibly important thing for veterans to be able to do is to have that connection with fellow veterans. And like you said, you don't have to serve with the individual. Just go to a reunion, go to something, and become a part of what you knew at one point in time, and continue that on. I think that's fantastic advice.
You are correct. There was a time we didn't have it. So you didn't exit the Marine Corps with an avenue and a place to go. That's why I like to go to active duty Marines today. And I've been invited by a recently promoted CWO, Eric Kine, Kyn, and he's invited me in January, and here it is March, and I'm talking to you. I'll get him because those Marines need a home for their future and to know about it. Some people join, and we don't solicit. We don't go, hey, why aren't you? Hey, don't come. I mean, what are you going to come to something you don't want to come to? Maybe you got a problem. Maybe somebody got you mad, and that's happened. Oh, Jason, we've had a lot of fun with that. But at least, yes, there is now because MCMA started just through conversation. A few guys sitting around having a brew, and they went public. They went there, but then they said only for the retired. They dropped that in a year, and so a lot of fun. It's a wonderful, not just band, all the fields seek out. They don't do it. They won't do it. They don't want to do it. They don't know how to do it. I think socially there needs to be some kind of emotional therapy to encourage those. All right, so you don't want to go every year. I love to. I mean, I gave a part of my soul, life, to the military, government. And years later, I'm still enjoying it. People think, oh, were you in 30 years? Oh, I thought 25. No. I call it metaphorically 10 minutes plus 2 compared to the likeness of you. So no, I'm very at home with the career Marine. I'm very at home with the leadership. I've enjoyed it and continue to enjoy it. And now we join forces. We have something new for listeners that might be picking up. The active duty Marines have invited and have allowed the former active duty Marines to join forces and have one ball, not organizational, just a banquet, so that we attend and we can observe and be invited because we did what they are currently doing. One that we just had the first one. The last 2, 3 got bumped because of the pandemic. We just had our first, and now I hear the East Coast is contemplating a little trying to get together. I see your head shaking. Not easy. You got Cherry Point, you got Lejeune, almost back to back, but then it gets a little tricky. Quantico, and who else is left? The
School of Music might be a part of it too.
But, yeah. Right. But the fact that it's in the conversation is enlightenment, so that we do not let go of what we once did. It's a wonderful experience. I have a lot of fun when we go. The MCMA members play in the band with the active duty. It's a lot of fun. Not me, I go play ball, but with who? Marines. So I enjoy it the way.
And you kick their butt while you're doing it too.
Oh well, we try to. Chris DeBauer still give me your best, because I have a lot of. It's respect. They see someone senior, they see someone old. So anyway, yeah, we do. Joe, you can join me.
I see your beautiful bride back
Yeah,
there. How are you doing?
Exhausted.
No, we don't get exhausted. You get exhausted. We're paid not to get exhausted. We don't get exhausted out there. Stick with your guns. Find your niche. Remember, life, the W can help. If you have a problem with it, yes, it's not easy. I got lucky. Joe, may God bless you. You're on for all to see and share. This is an asset. It's been a wonderful person, a professor of English, and compared to, I was so bad in college, I couldn't write the crap. Couldn't write the, she'd redline me. She'll look at the newspaper and redline the newspaper if they make a mistake. So thank you for joining us, because I know the clock is running on Andrew's interview here, but when
you're
something's good, it's hard to cut it off. But your questions hold substance and value, not a joke.
Thank you. Well, Joe, hey, I'll ask you one of the same questions I asked him. What advice do you give people when it comes to marriage and stuff like that? What's your secret to success?
Whoa! You hear what he's asking you? Did you hear?
How have you put up with Paul this whole time?
Whoa, Joe! You need to tell Master Gunnery Sergeant retired and his audience. He wants to know how in the holy heck hell you can tolerate, because we get asked this quite often. You don't have a patent on this. So you need to cut to the chase here. Tell him what kind of a man I am.
He's best.
Whoa! Hey, Joe, you're going to say it to the audience, or you're whispering it in my ear?
Though I fight with him occasionally, mostly we have the same things. But marriage, that's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You better come up with better information than that as a professor of literature. Crapshoots are good for the crap tables. In marriage, I have a different delivery here. I mean, Josephine is good. When you get in her classroom, oh, God forbid, to the right of God, she is, I've been told, and I've read her evaluations, and I've helped out in her grading in the later years, because I'm a teacher too. But I don't like that word, Joe, with all due respect. Yes, there's a lot of fortune, but you can cut down on your losses. Do not look at it as a crapshoot. You need to study. He's asking a question that's out of our certification.
There isn't any order.
Well, but it's not out
you're
of
lucky or you're not lucky.
Well, yeah, but you got to. Oh, here we go. You've got to increase your fortune, and you can with good. What did I say in your other question? Preparation, research, study. The parents.
You also said that you have to be able to compromise. You have to be able to have agreements, right? And be able to come together on those and compromise together. So there's that too.
Those are fundamental blocks. Hey,
we maintain our own freedom from each other.
But he didn't ask that. She has a hearing. She don't hear the question.
I do have a hearing problem.
Yeah. But you are correct and accurate with your statement. But those things are building blocks. They need to already have been there. That's why marriage is supposedly for the big M in marriage stands for maturity.
Ooh, that's good.
It's a heavy one. Yes, because now you can have it at 18. I'm sorry, look. There are people married at 18, the childhood sweethearts. And what do I say? They grew together, but they stayed together and they become one. But you could be 35, 40 if you do not maintain, conquer, understand the level of maturity of a potential mate. Yeah, it's hard afterward. So I do believe in not long engagements, not long anything, but maturity. And again, judgment, intelligence is a help, but intelligent people don't make the best decisions. Oh, I married my wife. She's so intelligent, but is she smart? You got You don't know. So you have to study that. So it's a
Well,
very good question. And I think it's military connected with your audience because in the military, we are geared from inception of boot camp. That is the new, right? There are people from Tennessee and Kentucky. You never wore a pair of shoes. But man, shoot that rifle. Whereas me, I came in with discipline, but I never shot a weapon. I didn't hit expert till the following year. It ain't easy, squeeze, boom. So we come in with different talents, let alone anyone from Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma, every time that wind comes down and the sun's headed, Joe, and the sun comes right behind the whale. Take it, Andrew. Oh, what out do you think he's from, Joe? He ain't from. This is a Norman, Oklahoma. This is the real deal. This is what America is built on, the likes and the standards of mid-America, Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, Oklahoma. You're great. You're a real deal.
Hey, I will tell you, I must be one of the exceptions to some of it. So my wife and I met her when I was in the 6th grade, and I came home and told my mom, I was like, I'm going to marry that girl. And it took us a long time before she agreed to date me. She was a senior in high school, getting ready to graduate. We started dating. I was 2 years behind her in school. When I graduated, I was 18. We got married. We've been married ever since. So, and I always say I've been married to my wife longer than I was married to the Corps.
Yeah. Okay. And I have to tell you, not to discourage, but to encourage those who have that good fortune. That is, the percentages are not on your side.
Yeah, very true.
But for you, look, so that's why I say this question is very explosive. You and I will both get, well, I'll tell you, I think you're crazy, man. You are exception and a gift. And it's, look, I got to tell you mine too. I did not have the support. And I'll tell you why in one sentence. When I tell you, Jesus, you're going to open up 5 more questions. This lady, before I married her, was already a mother with more children than are on that screen. Now you think about that. So I'm a man who stepped in when another man, for whatever reasons, sometimes death, sometimes sickness, sometimes sadness, steps away. So my title is admirably stepfather. I don't worry about the father too much. I don't worry about that. But later on, I didn't calculate my gift that I received from Josephine. I am, oh, I wish I could show you, Grandpa. I am that. Yeah. But, my wife's children, you have to be respectful and merciful. They were not babies. Half of them were, and half of them weren't. So that's another kind of a story that when you look at Josephine, my family looked at me. You don't, I mean, because
Sicilian.
I was a very
Sicilian only one.
Yeah, well, I'm a very special person in that I'm my father's only son, and that I was considered by life and society and social standings a cherry because I was never married. And by society, right. I mean, in practice, let's not go there. But in social standing, I was clean. I came to the marriage with credentials, education, cleanliness, and no luggage.
Yeah.
But look what I married. And I would say to her, lucky, this is part of the answer. Lucky day she met me that, she was given a gift. But wait a minute, let me finish that answer. Years later, that got reversed. I now look at Josephine and I reverse that statement and say, lucky day I met her.
Man, that's good. And I got to be honest, I don't know if we can end it any better than that right there. That was just perfect.
No, we're not ending it. We're going to put a halt.
There you go.
Paul and Joe are not about to end. Our children, that's another joke. We don't have children. Our children are grandparents. Think about that. It'll make your head spin. And we are entering not a new, but a refresh chapter. And we have a lot to say because we're elders, and we're still saying it. See, you're wise to get this type of a candidate and bring in the partner simultaneously. So you have a special, diverse kind of audience instead of and I'm not making fun at those who cannot speak or express, and maybe there's reasons for that, and that's excusable. This is a form of research, but it's a form of entertainment. The horn, the pictures, the this, the that. So I hope that it is a plus and an enjoyment to your future. You might want to recommend this because there are people, and that list is going to get long. So there are some people you'll recommend over more than others that should be, if for not any other reason, maybe they're just old, they know something. But you have brought in a sort of a sauté of questioning here that is good and healthy for both the veteran and the post-veteran and those contemplating major decisions in life, be they career or marriage. It's a heavy one, but I hope that I've answered it as safely, properly, and within the perimeters of my certification. I have to be very careful so that I do not hurt, damage, or be challenged by peers or press, as we're always being called upon on what we say. You said what? Oh, God, because you cannot have a good answer for everyone. There is
yeah. Well, hey, Paul, Joe, thank you guys for coming on. Joe, especially letting him come on and talk to me for a little while, and I appreciate you coming on and saying hi to us as well. But it's been a fantastic. I loved hearing all about your story. And when at the very beginning, I said the legend, my friend, you are the legend, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your manners, your accolades. And always remember, a legend is only sometimes in his own mind. I have a lot of work to do. I'm not done. Maintaining a reputation is not easy. I don't like to sit back and live off of my laurels. As you know, the last time I played ball, now you should be asking, when will I be playing ball again?
I'm betting it's going to be tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
If you bet, you will win.
I should go to Vegas right now.
They don't put people like me in Vegas. No, the odds with me is whether we're breathing or not. If you give Vegas my statistics, their odds will be regarding life and death. But I am setting a different standard. I realize that. My doctors want to put me on a road show. If for any reason, let's see, I can stand up and maybe not give you a full view, but anyway, name the joint in my body, and it has been redone, replaced, fixed, because I lived a life of an athlete. I'm a double hip arthroplastic recipient, 2 new hips. I'm RoboCop. Only all my steel is where you cannot see it. When the airlines started their security, oh my God, I'd have 4 people come over. And look at me. I had my hair a little darker. I had my military Marine Corps pin on. Guys, what the hell are you doing? What are you carrying? They're checking my crotch for this. Because I had all steel in my body. And I've had 2 shoulders not replaced, restructured. Bones taken out of here from playing handball with a damn little ball. I'm a martial artist. I'm a gymnast. My back, I can't do handstands anymore. That pisses me off. But yes, I have been given a second chance as an athlete, and thank you for the technology. I want to thank Jesus, but he don't do the surgery. So, but I thank the faith given to the orthopedic specialists, the clinical community, the research, And I have been to the future. You know, I told you in the beginning, I'm going to take you on a cruise. I'm going to take you on a journey. We're going to go back. But I have already been to the future. Not a joke. They make a movie about it. I live the life. And how do I do that in closing? I go to the Consumer Electronics Show every year. That is part of my mantra to maintain my status with my humanity. The Consumer Electronics Show is strictly for scientists, engineers, and it's everything around you. This computer, I have talked to more robots in the last show. Artificial intelligence, don't get me started on that. But I'm a futurist. Now, the future is relatively what's coming out in the spring, the fall, next year. So I have been to the future, your future, and you tell your audience is looking good and healthy. Oh, how do I know that? Contact Paul Durso, because he went to the future. How did he do that? Consumer Electronics Show. Will I be there next year? Yes, that's what I do. And then the other one is the NAMM Show. I go every year to the NAMM Show. I think I called Andrew Cox from the floor of the NAMM Show because why?
Yeah.
The Marines were there, long overdue. I spoke to the gunny who's being picked up for EA, forgot his name, 1st Marine Division, and he was there and dressed blues. We talked, we had fun. Oh, the NAMM Show. That should be an assignment for every artist, Marine. Guy picks up a trumpet, starts playing. Another guy comes over with a slide trombone. They got in a jam session right in the middle of the floor. Fantastic. So what's the answer to this? I'm trying to tell your audience, live life, don't give up, don't pay attention to some of our veterans that maybe have reasons for depression, anxiety. They're lost. Maybe they have a legitimate reason, going through a loss of a wife, a partner. Call me. I'll knock them right through the screen. So there's a lot going out in the world, even though it's post-Marine. You have a lot to do. You're starting in second life. So that said, God bless you. Sign off accordingly.
All right. Hey, Paul, thank you. Joe, thank you. I appreciate y'all. For all the listeners out there, if you are struggling, you're having a hard time, you're wanting to hurt yourself, anything like that, be sure to reach out and ask for help. You can always dial 988, press option 1. The VA is going to get you in contact with somebody that's going to help you out. If you don't feel like calling, you'd rather text, you can text 838-255. Again, that's 838-255. And same thing, they're going to be able to help you. If you like to chat online, go to their website, veteranscrisisline.net. And you can click the chat icon. You'll be able to get on there and contact somebody. This is all anonymous. You only tell them what you want to tell them, but they are there to help. And the VA has gone overboard in trying to help in these types of situations. So one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. I know that Paul and Joe care about you. All the other veterans care about you, and we want what's best for you. So again, Paul, Joe, thanks for everything. And to all my listeners out there, stay motivated, change your socks.